a very quick introduction about myself. I mean, you might be wondering where do I come from. So I've been in corporate world for more than 3 decades. My last role was global head of vertical marketing for BT, and I was also member of the board of directors for BT in India. And then I left to start my own company, which is marketing services company. And one of the things which it also do is advisory and consulting. So CXLET is one of my customers where, or I'm associated with them as an advisor and consultant, because I strongly feel that CX is the one which is going to transform the way things are going to be going forward, and one of the biggest differentiator for the companies, not just in B2C environment, but B2C. So that's very, very short thing about me. And let's. I'm sure you have seen the questions which Nidhi has shared with you, but we'll not go exactly with the questions. We want to make it more like a casual chat, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, uh, why don't we start with a quick round of introduction? Why don't you share a little bit about you, Nikhil, please?
Sure. So, Mridul, first of all, thank you so much, okay, for inviting me for this discussion. It's a pleasure to be part of it and interacting with you in person. Okay, and you definitely come from a Tata world, so it's good to meet an ex-Tata colleague. After my engineering and MBA, I started my journey with TCS in 98, okay, where I got selected by TCS from a campus where I was in Niti, Mumbai.
Okay,
And there, 99, our CEO, Chandra, he basically had started an e-commerce practice because that time e-commerce was just coming up. Okay.
correct.
And he basically formed a group of some 8, 10 people who would basically take this practice forward. And as a part of that, this team actually we went to different places within in US to demonstrate our e-commerce capabilities, and that's how I started my journey in TCS in 98
Oh,
and
lovely.
99 with this. 2000 to 2008, I worked for one of our biggest customers, which is TCS customers called GE, General Electric.
Okay,
And I was in Europe and America to manage relationship for GE.
lovely.
And then I moved to another big relationship, Nielsen, where TCS signed a
Okay,
biggest contract in the IT world, which was $1.2 billion contract at that time in
correct,
2000.
correct.
So that's where I moved, and I was based in Tampa, Florida.
Okay,
After,
great.
after coming back from there, 2011 onwards until 2016, I worked with TCS BPS, which was
Okay,
business services, and I used to manage customer service portfolio. Okay, as a part of that, and of course, retail as the industry vertical. Okay,
right.
that I did it until 2016. And 2016, I joined Wipro as an India geography head. Okay, CEO for that.
Okay. That's how, yeah, I
Which
saw
was
that Wipro thing.
which earlier was Wipro Infotech, but then we changed it to Wipro India Geography.
Yeah,
And I worked as in that position before I took up a new role as a country at Japan.
okay.
Now, country at Japan, the moment or whatever, 6 to 9 months in that role, and COVID hit. Okay, so my movement to Japan got delayed. Okay,
Okay,
because of COVID, and then it continued for 1.5 years, and we decided that okay, let's uh, have some other person, okay, join that role. And at that time, I moved to Tata Digital because Tata Digital was just started, and we were actually of different aspects. And my experience in TCS while I was managing customer service portfolio there for all our global customers, for all TCS global customers
correct,
across industries, that was very handy in setting up a customer service function in Tata Digital, and
right.
which I started in 2021, April
Okay,
21. Since then, I've been with Tata Digital. And the best part of doing this role, Amradul, is to setting up this function, understanding the customer's behavior, mainly from India perspective, because earlier as part of TCS, it was more of a global perspective. And then setting up this function, and then till today, continuing to make it better, better, and better every day. That's what has been my journey so far.
No, I can very well understand that, and that's a remarkable journey. I must say that, Nikhil, from probably starting when the e-commerce was still at its nascent stage to where we are. So fantastic, no doubt about that. Um, I would like to know, because you've been as part of this journey, right, for almost more than 2 decades. How has the customer experience deliveries have transformed over the period of time, from the times when there was no internet and probably more of e-commerce was just evolving, and especially coming to the times when you have things moving to the quick commerce portfolio. Now, how have you been sitting on the forefront of this change, have seen it evolved?
So, Mridul, very interesting, because if you ask about decades earlier, okay, we had a very simple process of providing customer service uh, through voice as a only channel, correct? And you would have seen and that all these call centers were created, set up across the country. And by the way, that became one of the major force of outsourcing, okay, which was
Right,
here limited or were confined only to Western countries. Then they started outsourcing it, and it was mainly the call centers, okay, which started that journey on to provide the customer service. Then gradually people realized that okay, voice may not be the only option, okay, of providing customer service, and let's basically expand this single channel to omni channel or multiple channels, okay, and let's give customers the choice of picking up a channel rather than we forcing them, okay, you only can call or talk to us, okay.
right,
So that basically was one change which I have seen it moving from a single channel to a multi channel scenario.
correct.
Then the second change which I have seen it is lot of interaction which used to happen all by human has then been taken by the IVRs of the world or the bots in the of the world, correct? Where not necessarily you have to deploy humans to basically service the customer. And I'm telling you, Mridul, not completely from a cost perspective, because cost is an output or is a byproduct of what the entire industry went through, but
Right,
it was more on a customer experience, correct? So it all started with let's try to automate certain things where the machine can provide that information rather than people, you need to basically do it, okay. And that also helps that okay, if I have a query to ask about, let's take a bank as an example of my account balance, why do you need a person at 2 a.m. in the morning on the other side to give you that information? A system can help you, and a voiceover can basically help give that information, right? So
absolutely,
that's how the
absolutely,
automation started, correct? And then it, of course, moved to chat, and then within chat it came chat bots, what we see it, and within chat bots we moved from a menu based bot to an AI bot. And then we are talking about Gen AI solutions now, which anyway, all the companies, including Tata Digital, we are using it very, very diligently and to a good extent. But net, all these changes which have happened, Radul, are more to provide better and better experience to the customers. Okay.
correct,
We have
correct,
questioned as an industry, we have questioned ourselves that okay, is this the best thing? Or can we do it much better? Can we do it
right,
better for the customer? And that problem or that question or that challenge resulted into new innovations started to happen. Okay. And as I said, of course, the center point was always customer and the experience.
correct,
The
correct.
byproduct was cost saving, ease, omni-channel, and you can call it all
Right,
name.
right. Absolutely, absolutely. I think you're absolutely right, and this evolution has been transformative over the years, as you rightly said, from what it was from an IVR to probably AI developed or AI powered chatbots to support and do a lot of self-service and stuff, which is perfectly the right approach that we are going. And in this process, I think one area which is emerging is personalization, which I feel is a double-edged sword, right? So, and it is really important to deliver a good quality customer experience. But how much of personalization? Because between personalization, hyper personalization, and intrusiveness, and data privacy, how do you look at this? How do you, as someone who's managing a very large setup of digital, how do you handle personalization and what are your views around it?
So you brought a very valid point, Mridul, on personalization is a key word, okay, across all e-commerce platforms, where more and more people, where the universe used to be, or the sample size used to be the entire country or a city or a state, has moved from n equal to 1.
Right,
Okay. So it is not uh, for a zip code called 400001, and I will basically go and market to all the people living there. But actually, I will go and market to Mridul, and I'll go and market to Nikhil Asopa. Okay, so that
correct,
is how it has changed. But at the same time, there's a very thin line between personalization and invading to privacy. And
correct.
now with the GDPR related laws coming into picture and getting now coming into force, we see that okay, we have to be very careful in, of course, providing the best personalization experience to our customers, but at the same time, take care of their privacy. And hence, in our personalization journey, we have taken a blend of both these things where we do not cross that line. At the same time, provide as much experience on a personalized way. I'll give you an example.
Right,
So, if you go to Tata New app, okay, you will always see a section called curated for you. Now, this curated for you section, Mridul, is essentially something which we have curated for Mridul Srivastav as a person. Okay, not people who are type Mridul Srivastav or who are in the age group of what Mridul Srivastav is, like that. It is for Mridul Srivastav. Now, there are a lot of things which basically goes into it, and I'll not go into the technicalities
right,
of it. But the important part is that okay, to that level, I have so that it makes it easy for Mridul as a customer to complete his shopping experience and a journey as quick as possible. Okay, and get the best customer experience.
right,
Okay,
right.
that is
So,
one. The second thing which we did, okay, actually we launched it in during Valentine's Day. Okay. Now we realized because Tata Neo is an app of multiple categories, correct? You have grocery, you have electronics, you have fashion, you have pharmacy, you have hotels, flights, and number of things, right? So in during Valentine Day, we launched a gifting assistant. Again, completely Gen AI based solution where Mridul can go to this app to the gifting assistant and say, okay, I would like to basically buy something, and you have to just basically type whatever you want to, what
right,
your idea is, not necessarily the product. Okay. So the Gen AI engine will just read your thoughts. Okay. And of course, assist you in getting it more clarity on the thoughts and will help you. Okay. These are the three, four different options which you can basically use to gift your loved one during a Valentine Day and whenever you would like to. Now, this was comparatively an easy thing if you have working on a single category app,
right,
correct? But when you combine it with multiple categories, where a choice can be from a watch from Titan to a holiday package in Taj, Maldives, or to a, let's say, a health checkup gift you would like to give it to somebody. Okay, when you have these multiple categories, this becomes more a little
complex.
complicated and difficult, but we were able to crack it down very easily. And a lot of people now use that to go to that section of our app and help themselves on that. So these are a couple of examples which I gave you. But more importantly, as I said, it is very important to ensure that, okay, we keep an eye on what is permissible and what is not permissible. Okay. At the same
Right.
time, provide the best shopping experience to our customer through personalization.
No, I think that is where which is the most important. And you're right. I mean, the law can be maybe promulgated soon. It is already passed, the DPDP law by India. which as I understand is tougher than GDPR,
Yes.
and of
Yeah, I
course
mean,
more
right.
tough than CCPA. Uh, but do you think that uh, uh, this technology human interface is necessary to draw the line between privacy and personalization? And if yes, then how are you as an emerging technology, because you have seen it grow right from scratch, right? So how as that you see that technology and the evolving technologies, especially AI based technology, which are more pervasive than you can think, can help you draw this line between privacy and personalization.
See again, because of, so let me put it this way, because of AI-led technology which we are having it essentially helps us to tell us, okay, this is what extent you can do it, okay, and then that same technology helps us to make sure, okay, we are not crossing the line and infringing the privacy part of it. Okay.
Correct.
So for example, let's take the example of when I basically propose to you, okay, something which you can potentially buy, okay, through my gifting assistant or anything, right?
Right, right, right,
I cannot at the same time share some information that, okay, Mridul, I know you have a friend on Facebook called Nikhil Asopa, and he has actually also bought a similar product for his wife
right.
or for his friend, okay, on that. Though I may have that information, right? But that is where the technology plays a role of making sure that, okay, this offer or this particular experience, I'm curating it only for Mridul as a person and not compromising on any other person's privacy and sharing it. And similarly with Mridul's information to anybody else. Okay. So that is something which we do it very, very diligently.
And I think that is really important. Okay, so let's move to another very interesting and emerging area is about feedback management. And and today we have a lot of technology to which will not be very intrusive when you're looking at feedback, and you can look at automatic feedbacks. How started you, or how is you as a technologist see feedback's importance, and how you convert them into actionable insights, given the fact that you're getting billions of feedback on say a new product which you've just launched. Let's say you've just launched a new watch on Titan, Titan's new watch on Tata New. I think the kind of feedback which you can provide at a speed Titan themselves may not be able to provide. That's the beauty of a digital solution. How do you convert all that information into a quick actionable insight?
So mostly I tell people that, okay, the feedback from the customer is the completely free advice you get from the customers to how to make a product better,
Correct.
rather than employing somebody whom you pay a hefty amount to get that information of how my product or service is doing. Okay, the best way is let this thing come from the customer themselves, and hence the customer feedback becomes very important for any organization. Correct, and I have done it as a part of my role, like what I was telling you about working in TCS across so many global customers. Okay. One of them being one of the largest customer, which has the best customer satisfaction index in the banking world, to the retailers, to the finance companies, and you name it. Okay. And everywhere I have realized the methods may have changed, Mridul, of how to collect the customer feedback and act on it. But the core of collecting the customer feedback and making a product better is very important. Now, at the same time, I have seen the challenges which what happen, or what the main challenges which are there is not in collecting the feedback. The main challenge which organization feel is how to implement or close the loop with that feedback.
Correct. Correct.
Correct. Lena is easy to get, that customer feedback is easy, right? But putting up in the right perspective, taking to the right function, getting it implemented and closing the loop is very important. Otherwise, customer will
Uh,
also feel bored. Ke, why should I give this feedback? Okay, if nothing is happening on it. And of course,
yeah.
not all feedback would be implemented, but at least
Some
whatever
of them.
makes sense for your organization based on your business criticalities, okay, they should be done. So that is a general principle which we work on. Now, typically what we do it at Tata Neu. Okay, so there are multiple areas where we collect this feedback. First of all, during the entire customer journey of exploration to a purchase to a post purchase, there are multiple points where we collect the feedback from our customers so that we can understand how the experience has been for the customer while he was searching a product on our app, to putting it into a cart, making a payment, getting it delivered, and if there is any post-purchase inquiry or complaint, if that person has it, how we are activating it. So across this journey, there are more than 10 different data points or areas where we pick this feedback. So that is one area where we took the feedback. The second point where we take the feedback is after every customer interaction by the customer service team, there is a survey which goes to the customers, okay,
Right.
and then they give a feedback, which is a more qualitative feedback because we happen to ask some 4 or 5 questions, which helps us to see where we are doing good and where we can do better. So that's
Correct.
another.
Correct.
The biggest source, another source is the social media, right? Where people come on social media and write about how our app is working, how the experience has been, what is good, what is bad, whatever it is, right? That's become the other source. So we have now a lot of sources, correct? What we do it is take this feedback, okay, put it into an engine, okay, and generate some very qualitative insights from these feedback. And that insights, and whether you'll be surprised, every week the top management committee goes through these feedbacks. Okay,
Wonderful.
assign it to a different functions. Okay, and help them that okay, this is what the customer feedback is. How can we make our product better? How can we make our app better? How can we make our customer service better? How can we make our logistics and supply chain better? All these things are fed into that.
Right.
And then, of course, there is a rigor of running these meetings and taking the action items and closing the loop, which then basically becomes a strategy for different functions called product, marketing, supply chain, customer service, XYZ.
Right. Right.
That's the mechanism which we use.
And that is really wonderful because companies who are doing this, adopting this kind of really taking action against the feedback, can and definitely have the right, doing the right thing, and they are the ones who will then succeed in the long run.
And
But
for a
that's
selfish,
really important.
yes, sorry. And for a selfish reason, Radul, okay, where will you get? Okay, you don't have to do. It's not a prototype, right? If there's an app in the environment, it's people are using it. Let they are the best people who can tell us what is working,
Yes,
what is not
exactly.
working, right? So nothing better than getting a customer feedback and then making a product better based on that.
Correct. Correct. Nothing better than that. Absolutely nothing better than that. That's the right thing. Uh, my next question is a little, should I say, not a very popular question, or rather, I would say, contrary to the popular feed, right? Now, I talk to a lot of people who are marketers and CX practitioners who are technologists, and I also talk to the common customers, people like you and me, who are buying services or buying products. Uh, while AI chatbots and AI-based customer service is really good and saves time and fantastic, inobtrusive, all that good things which we talk about, there are many times when the customer craves for a human intervention. And and there are times, as you said right at the beginning, that you're talking about uh, uh, something like having to check your balance at 2 a.m. in the night. You don't need really someone to talk to, right? So which is perfectly fine. But there are several areas where it is becoming important, and we find that over the time, what is happening is that the customers are finding it very difficult to actually get an opportunity to speak to a human. So, how, as a technologist and as a someone who has been into this, how do you foresee a AI human interface coming together to deliver much superior experience than what it is as of now?
So very important, and I think this question is there across the industry. okay, where people are still a little worried as well as curious to know how do we strike a balance between the two. Okay. I'll tell you, we have a very, and my experience, whatever I have seen it, we have come up with a very simple principle of how to address this problem. And I'll tell you how. See, when we started our journey, okay, by the way, we launched our app in April 22. Okay. We, of course, did a pilot before that. Okay. One thing was very clear, Mridul. Okay, we are going to give the best customer experience, okay, to our customers, irrespective of how much technology we use or how much human interface we do. That was the center of it. Okay, we have never compromised on that part. Now, with that as an option, our principle was very simple. When we launched it, okay, we decided we launch it, okay, with the human interface. That helped us to understand the human issues or what queries people have it. Okay. So let's say I basically did a pilot. I got, let's say, 100 queries.
Correct.
Okay. It can be issues, it can be complaints, it can be anything. Correct. I basically, and it was all being supported by human, right? Because we wanted to understand the human behavior vis-a-vis this product, this purchase journey, and then query or a complaint type of thing. And then we started analyzing that, okay, let's say if this is a set of questions we get, queries we get, how much of them can be automated without impacting the customer experience? Okay. And we basically moved from that point. So we started off with human. We basically found out which can be moved or can be automated and can be answered by a AI bot or by an IVR or whatever you have it. And then keep the rest. And I'll tell you, Mridul, till today, we have lot of use cases which do not allow us as part of our principle and our strategy to have an bot response. We still would like to basically do a human response. Okay, the channel can be anything. It can be a voice, it can be chat, but it has to be a human response. Correct.
Right, right.
Now that is important because one thing across the firm which we have and working with our partners as well, we have told empathy is the biggest thing which we have to basically exhibit while we are talking to our customers. Right. Now think
Absolutely.
of a situation, Radul, when you order your meal from Cumin, which is a Taj unit, and let's say for any reason because there is a traffic jam or anything, the order gets delayed by 15-20 minutes. Correct? Now, in this case, I would rather like to call you or talk to you, Mridul, okay, and give you a comfort rather than a bot sending you a message. Okay, it has been delayed. Okay, of course, the message is same. The content is same, right? You're getting a order is delayed or that. But if I talk to you and if I basically somebody on the other side feels that yes, this person is caring about me and he understands, okay, this has been the case. So in a nutshell, there are use cases where we will not automate it, will not go because we know the human interface helps, okay, in a customer experience. The rest, okay, of course, like a bank account balance, which we spoke about, correct? Those are some of the things where forget about us. Even the customer doesn't want to talk to a human. Okay, they also are feeling okay. I don't need basically a wait on an IVR or even talk. It's very simple. I basically give my answer to my security questions and then I get an answer. And that's a very
Correct,
simple.
correct,
So
correct.
that's a balance. And one more thing which we have done it is, as you know, Tata Neu is actually a combination of multiple brands, right? And we keep adding brands, right? The latest being Air
Right.
India, which we launched, which we added to our brand. Tomorrow it may be other brands also which will add to it. One thing is we always do a pilot, okay, with the only human interface. Study it completely, understand the customer pattern, behavior, the type of queries, what makes them comfortable, what doesn't make them comfortable, and then do the automation. It's not the other way around that, okay, I launch it, I'll do 80-90% automation, rest I'll do it because I have certain, absolutely. That's not the philosophy. we have.
I think that's really sums up the Tata philosophy. I think that sums up the Tata philosophy, and I can very well understand that human first, technology later. And
Absolutely.
I think that is going to be the defining factor and differentiating factor as we proceed. Now,
Yeah, and people resonate Tata brand as a trust.
exactly,
So we have an extra responsibility, okay, towards our customers to make sure we live to that name trust,
right,
okay, which is
right.
associated with Tata brand, okay, and hence that's very important.
No, absolutely. I can very well understand that thing. Okay, so as a technologist, I would, my next question would be a lot of things you see, new trends and new technologies coming up. According to you, what are the in the next 3 to 4 years, what are the two or three defining technologies are going to change the customer experience delivery? And what roadmap you think companies, and I'm not specifically talking about Tata Neo, but companies should adopt to deliver them?
See, today the speed at which the new technologies are coming, Mridul, okay, the speed is so fast that we all know that famous story of how many years did it take for internet to proliferate to X billion of people versus a chat GPT, which just took few days to penetrate into people's life, okay, in the world. So the technology involvement in all the areas, especially the customer service and customer experience, is pretty fast. So whatever strategy or whatever thinking which we have it or prioritization which we do it, it has to be in such a way that okay, it remains for some time, plus it is flexible so that we move from one technology to other technology as the industry moves or as the need or the expectation of the customer moves. So that is again the theory of which one to choose and which one to put it low under in the priority. Okay, so
Right,
that is a theory which we use it. Now, having said that, some of the thing which I think will see a radical change, okay, and again for the benefit of the customer, is one. See, today the quality audits, which is a very important function within customer service, okay, where we do either a sample quality audits, that will go away and it will become a real-time 100% audits, because by the audits play a very important role in making the function better.
right,
Okay, you do a function, you after the audit you figure it out, that ACPT analysis which we do it, right, whether it is an agent issue or whether it is the process issue or the technology issue, all that stuff, right? Now, if we do it for a sample, there may be a little biasness or it may not give a complete picture.
right,
So moving forward, it's a 100% quality audit which would happen uh, to most of the interaction which we have it, irrespective of the channel. Okay. And
right,
by the way, that has already started, but it has to become more mature as far as it is effectiveness is concerned. So that is one thing which I'm seeing it. Second thing, which word which I used was a real time, right? One is doing the audit, but doing it real time. So let's take voice as the channel. I am talking to Mridul, okay, as a part of I'm an agent, I'm talking to you as a customer. And I figure it out that, okay, during the interaction, okay, for something which Mridul was not happy with, okay, his voice got basically a little agitated. Okay. I am basically reading his decibel points, okay, of his voice. And accordingly, if it breaches a particular mark, an alert goes to a supervisor where he basically intervenes and whatever he can do to basically make the customer comfortable, okay, he intervenes and do it.
right,
Now, today we are doing it post the scenario and all that stuff, but this definitely would happen. Okay. The third thing which I feel, okay, is using Chat GPT, for example. Okay. I'll give you an example of how we are using Chat GPT, Mridul. Okay. See,
interesting to hear that. Interesting to hear that.
social media, okay, we get thousands of posts, tweets, feedback from our customers every day. Correct? Now, this particular response, now all those have to be responded to, correct, as a part of our social media response team.
Right.
Today, ChatGPT has an option of responding to each and every query by themselves within our framework. So it is not a general response, it is a response curated and created for Tata new customer service. Okay. And that basically gets generated by ChatGPT.
Right. So
Okay.
you've customized the GPT.
We have customized it fully for our function and it basically customized. But again, as I said, okay, we are not basically just submitting the response based on what ChatGPT is putting up, right? There is a check process where right now, at this point of time, because the effectiveness is limited, we basically go to the response and then basically respond, okay, to our customers. Okay. But when I do a check of, though we have gone through all this, let's say 100 responses, today, almost around 60, 70 of those responses, I don't have to even make a change of comma, the, and nothing on that. Okay. So that is where we are. Okay. So that has basically advanced to a stage where now, and this can become 100% without human intervention as well.
Right.
Okay. So it has gone to that advanced level. So actually there are n number of examples where I see, okay, things are moving. Okay. And we are only looking to for more and more to happen in the world of technology. But
Right.
one thing is common. Any invention which happens, any new technology which comes up, they have to keep customer experience as the focal point. Okay. Many things which I have seen it, and I have been to many events where I have many people come to me about their new solutions, new innovation they have done it. Whenever the primary objective is to reduce cost alone, okay, I don't think so that is the right solution at this point of time. The primary objective has to improve the customer experience. The cost can be a byproduct of it, but the
Right.
focal point should be customer experience. If that is consistent, okay, I'm telling you, we'll see a lot of innovations happening in customer experience.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think absolutely right. Uh, uh, I think we've had a really good conversation. My last question to you would be, being such an experienced person and being, I would say, a veteran in your field, uh, what would be your advice to, we're having a lot of startups coming up and delivering things, and some of them are succeeding, some of them are, those who succeed, they find places in media, but there are a lot of people who fail. So, from a customer experience point of view, what would be your advice to these startups, these young people who are trying to make a mark and be part of India's growth economy?
So, a couple of things which I already mentioned is a part of our discussion, Mridul. One is whatever you do, whatever you innovate, whatever you plan to start, let's understand one thing very clearly. The business part of it comes later. The problem solution comes first. And the problem solution is that, okay, in this area, what we are talking about, okay, focus on how it will help the customer, how it will basically make the experience better,
Correct.
and make the solution to address the problem, not make a solution which basically give you more revenue, which will basically help you expand your base or units sold. But if you focus on solving a problem, people will buy it. Okay, people will buy it because it is either solving the problem or, in this case, making the experience better of the customer. That is
Right.
one part. Okay, which is very important. The second thing which I will tell you is, see, a lot of times people more mainly, I'm not talking about the startups in general, but people get a little impatient, okay, on what is my ROI, how will I basically get successful fast. Okay. So my suggestion to people, especially in this field, is you have to have some patience because of the very reason that things are changing very fast. Okay. Now, if you go with the thing that, okay, yes, after 3 months I'll be successful, after 6 months I'll be successful, you are actually putting yourself in a very difficult situation where you will get uh, less comfortable and you will get depressed that, okay, I did not achieve my objective. Okay.
Right.
Things are for a longer run. Okay. And you should keep that as a point. And the third thing is, which is actually very important, is you may start off with the strategy of doing certain things, correct? But there is a macro environment which is beyond your control. The innovations would happen, the things will change, the behavior will change. So make your strategy as dynamic as possible so that at times you can do a check, okay, and then make those changes to your strategy, okay, and then do a course correction.
Right.
Because it's such a fast changing world. Okay. If you keep it a very simple thing, okay, it may basically so so in a nutshell, it's a very, by the way, it's the best time to be part of the startup world because of all the ecosystem which is helping the companies and the individuals, okay, to flourish. At the same time, I have seen only few percentage of them are successful and the rest basically shut down pretty
Right.
fast. Okay. For that, your 2 cents to those people and to those organizations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was really wonderful. I really loved talking to you, and I could feel that the Tata values coming out straight from your heart. And I remember being an external. So thank you so much for your time. It was fantastic speaking to you. I'm sure Nidhi will reach out to you for the next steps of how it shapes up in terms of the video. But I really enjoyed talking to you. I'll be sending a LinkedIn request. Please accept. Let's stay connected. Let's exchange ideas. Let's exchange notes. CX-led, just a minute on this. The CX-led is something which is close to my heart because I think uh, two things which I have been always extremely close and been part of as my professional world. One was the strategy and customer piece, being a hardcore marketer, and second, being all my life working in technology companies. Technology was also a part at my heart. So I'm looking at how these two things come together to deliver an experience for the customer, and this is where the thing is becoming so dynamic. This world is becoming so dynamic. I think CX will be the only differentiator going forward. Nothing else will matter. So
I, I fully agree, Mridul, and let me thank you. It was been a very good interaction and discussion with you, especially uh, getting to know the insights which you have basically got it through all your so many years of experience, being a marketer, as you said, being a customer experience person, okay, and of course, uh, the experience you have had it in working in so many industries, of course, including Tata's. Okay, but this interaction was also a learning uh, for me from a perspective that, okay, yes, first how the customer thinks. Also, based on your experience, it was very helpful to some questions of, yes, how do we basically look back and rework on something which can make the customer experience better. Okay. So thank you. It's my pleasure to have a discussion with you also, brother.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have a lovely day. We'll close the call. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you again. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.